Hello, friends. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at the October 2020 energy forecast for life path number 33-6. That's master number 33-6. 33s, I would suggest having a listen to the reading for the sixes because that is ultimately your life path number. The 33 energy is just an extension of that energy. And so before I get into the reading for October, I want to mention that October is actually a 5 universal month. What that means is collectively we could be seeing influences of that 5 energy. And what that usually holds is a lot of change and transformation. And not that any of us are wanting more change or transformation. We've all been through so much of it this year. But the energy is there for it. So just be aware of it. The best way to manage change, of course, is to surrender to it and to go with the flow. We don't always have control over our circumstances, but we do have control over how we move through them. And so just be aware of that influence could be coming in this month for you. Another side of the 5 energy is that desire for adventure, for travel, for expansion. And so if your circumstances don't allow for you to physically travel at this time, then, do something virtually, do something, read a good book that allows you to travel in your mind, right? Take an online course, learn a new language, something that will allow for some kind of expansion or to step outside your comfort zone or to take a risk, okay? And that will sort of satiate that desire for that expansion. Another piece of that 5 energy that could come in is the need for moderation and balance. And so if you're feeling overextended, overspent, if you feel like you're living in extremes, then this month is going to really be a call to come back to your balance, find your equilibrium, all things in moderation, right? And so at times we can find ourselves living in extremes physically and emotionally, right? Our emotions might have the best of us. They're in control of us as opposed to us being in control of our emotions, or we might be completely out of touch with our emotions. And so those are extreme energies. And so if that's the case, then this month will be giving you opportunities to find your equilibrium. Another aspect of that is living in physical extremes. So if there's any kind of, overspending, overeating, any kind of addiction that you're over sort of jumping into, right? Like if you're sort of too much into it, then that can be an issue as well. Or if you're into too much deprivation, if you're depriving yourself of too much, right? So these are the extremes that we often face, and it's all about finding that balance. And so you may see those sort of themes come in for you this month. So just be aware of it. So what I'd like to do is break down October into 4 weeks, and I'm going to look at the energy for each of those 4 weeks. The energy is really fluid, so it depends on how it will come in for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. If you would like, because this is a general reading, if you would like a personalized reading, then please reach out to me on my website, book some time with me, and let's take a look at what could potentially be coming in specifically for you. All right, so let's get into it. So actually really beautiful energy for 33s. I like to see this sort of respite for you guys. I feel like the master numbers have really been hit hard. We all have, but the master numbers have definitely been doing a lot of work in 2020. So this month looks really beautiful for 33s. We start out the month with this energy of union or coming together, seeing eye to eye with other people, working really well with others, healing relationships that need to be healed, overcoming difficulties that, that are holding you back, but that need to be released so that you can move forward, that may have to do with past hurts related to relationships. And so even if you're not healing the relationship with that person, there's this feeling of healing the energy around it. And so you're not carrying that baggage with you anymore. You're releasing that event and moving on. And so that's really some beautiful energy. There's also this option for some of you who are single or who are looking for love, that there's the opportunity for a relationship coming in for you. I'm feeling that pretty strongly, actually. So if that is something you're looking for, I do feel like for some 33s, there's this soulmate experience coming in for you that's really quite beautiful, and it feels very divinely guided. So keep an eye out for that, and it feels very emotionally fulfilling. And so that could be really beautiful. But there's also this energy for those of you who are maybe in a relationship or not looking for a relationship, but sometimes we get relationships when we're not looking for them. But there's still this energy around mending what is broken. And so that's not necessarily about getting back together with an old relationship or something like that, or an ex-flame. It's more about healing whatever needs to be healed around that energetically so that you can move forward. Okay. And so there's a little bit of that coming in as well. And then again, just really that union energy. And this could also be healing what needs to be healed within yourself so that you can, become whole. And so really balancing that masculine and feminine energy within, and finding union within yourself. And so there's also that aspect as well. So however that comes in for you. And then we move into the second week of October, and it's just this more beautiful energy of just your cup runneth over. So there's really this very beautiful divine gift coming in for you that's just going to make you feel so overwhelmed with joy. And I love to see that. It's like you're almost so fulfilled. And, honestly, I'm getting this feeling like whatever comes in for you the first week is really helping to fill that cup up. And so whether that's, healing a past hurt, or if it's an actual relationship coming in, it's just this energy in the second week of October that feels very fulfilling, very beautiful, very light, very joyous, just very, very positive. And so I really like that. And it's also like sort of a new energy, so it feels like it could be around like a relationship coming in, or again, just when a relationship is broken and you're able to heal that relationship, then that can feel really fulfilling. And so some relationships are meant to be released, and because they're so toxic, they're not meant to be with us for the whole entire journey. So they're meant to be released. But some relationships, through our own actions, become broken when they don't need to be broken. And so I do feel like at the beginning of the month, there's an opportunity for mending that. And then that second week of October, really feeling fulfilled by that. So that's really positive, beautiful energy, 33s. And then we have the third week of October, which is really this master energy. And 33s, you really are master energy. And so it's like, this is your jam. And so this third week of October could see you really honing in on your craft, really, stepping up in purpose, really focusing on something that you're meant to become the expert at. And so this feels very career driven, very, it doesn't have to be career. It can be, a hobby. It just means showing up in purpose, but becoming the expert at something that feels really good to you, that innately makes your heart sing. And so you might have an opportunity to excel in your career that you're already in, whether that's taking some kind of a masterclass or something like that. It could be you getting an opportunity for a promotion that allows you to further expand upon the information and the knowledge and the wisdom that you already have. But there's this energy around focusing your energy in on where it wants to be focused. Okay. So if you are in a job or something like that where your energy is being dispersed and it just doesn't feel good, then there's really this call to move towards something that does, because you are not meant to be expending your energy long term into something that does not feel good for you. And so, especially as 33 energy. So this third week, you may feel the call to pursue something that really speaks to your inner soul and really ignites your fire. And it's something that you're meant to explore deeply. You are meant to move into that mastery level energy. So keep an eye out for what that is, the downloads that you get, your dreams, messages that come through people or animals or whatever. Or things that you hear that ignite some kind of curiosity in you. Pay attention to that, because when you feel that spark and you're like, wow, this would be really exciting to do, you're meant to explore that, because that's going to lead you to something in purpose that you are meant to master, that you are meant to become the expert at. And that's really exciting. So pay attention to the energy that comes in for you around that third week. And then as the fourth week comes in, we have this beautiful energy of just play, this playful energy, reconnecting to your inner child, passion and creation and grounding, but then also just feeling fueled by, your drive, and again, that passion for creation. That I feel like that creative energy is just going to be flowing through you at the end of the month. But it also could be just that opportunity for some rest and relaxation and taking a quick break and just doing something that just makes you happy. So just tapping back into that childlike essence that, and childlike innocence that you had as a child, the things that made you feel carefree and free, right? And so yeah, that last week of the month, just find time to play. That's really important. And what's beautiful about that is often when we are playing is when we are most sort of in tune with our divine essence. And so when we play, we find that joy, and through that joy, we find the creative energy. And so that's oftentimes when we uncover what it is that our soul wants to accomplish while it's on this planet. And so why we deprive ourselves of the time and opportunities to play is beyond me, because that's when our soul is at its highest vibration. So at that last week, well, anytime, but especially at that last week of October, try to really cut out some time to just play and just be and just enjoy the surroundings. And even if it's just a matter of going into the park and having a picnic and whatever, just whatever makes your heart sing, blowing bubbles, I don't know, right? Finger painting, whatever. But just get creative. And when I say get creative, I just mean play, right? And see what unfolds from that playful nature. So really beautiful, beautiful energies for October for you 33s. I'm going to be honest, like October has some tense aspects for a lot of the life path numbers, but you guys have really, and you deserve this. It's really beautiful energy. You've worked hard. So yeah, just enjoy it. And like I said, that last week, during the middle of the month, take the time to really explore and, hone your craft and really focus your energy towards those things you want to become the expert at. But at the end of the month, just let your hair down, just play, just be a kid again. And don't feel shame or remorse for doing that. Just enjoy it. And then I pulled an animal spirit card just to see what the overall energy for the month was for you guys. And you got skunk spirit, which is so cute. His message is know your worth. And I know this is a big one for 33s because you're constantly doing for others. It's really just part of your nature as part of that 6 energy as well, that nurturing caregiver. And so a lot of times when we are overextending ourselves, which comes with that 5 energy, but when we are overextending ourselves and living in that extreme, we become out of balance. And so we forget our worth. We feel like our worth is dictated by what we do for others. And that's not always the case. Our worth is dictated by what we do for ourselves and how we acknowledge ourselves and how we acknowledge our own inner wisdom and knowledge and power and all of those beautiful aspects. And so know your worth in the sense that if there is a side of you this month that really is feeling taken advantage of or feeling like you're overextending, just remember, it takes 2 to participate in that. And if you are showing up for that, then you are choosing to participate. So when you know your worth, then you know it's okay to set boundaries. And so if you feel that call this month to set some boundaries, go ahead and set them, especially with everything coming in for you this month as far as, potentially like another thing to focus on where you want to focus your energy so that you can become the expert at your craft or whatever the case may be. But there's so many things coming in for you that need your attention, that have to do with you. And so if you're overextending yourself by giving to others and doing for others and taking on for others, then you're not celebrating your own worth. And so it's really important that you listen to Skunk Spirit and understand your worth. And by doing that, understand that it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to schedule time if you have to play. It's okay. And there's no guilt around not being active, right? Like sometimes we get in that masculine energy of like constantly being in action mode. And that's when we are, silencing the soul. And so we have to find that time for stillness, find that time for play, find that time for surrender, where we can just sink into fully our soul and our own being and decide what it is that we want and just play and just enjoy this experience while we're here. So know your worth, know that it's okay to set boundaries. There's no shame and guilt in that, especially when they're healthy boundaries. And yeah, go from there. But ultimately, 33s, this is a beautiful month for you. So I hope that the energy comes in, and you're able to work with it and mold it in the way that works for you. But it looks really, really beautiful. So I hope it is. If you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. Otherwise, I will see you again here soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.